Hello and welcome to Sincere Tarot. This is a big spirit guide message for you. So everyone has spirit guides. They're a little bit more closely connected to us than our angels. We all have at least a few. So I've just asked, I've already shuffled and I'm going to cut now. What is a big message that they have for you? So pick a number 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so I'm going to have 3 separate piles. You can just click on the timestamps in the description or the pinned comment and you can go straight to yours if you like, okay? But then I'll have a collective reading at the very end, okay? So what is a big spirit guide message for my wonderful viewers? So pick a number 1, 2, or 3, and no matter when you watch this, from when the video was created, it will be relevant, okay? So if you picked 1, let's see what we've got. I'm just gonna move these out of the way. Oh, definitely a big message. Ooh. Something that you've already kind of like known about or realized in the past, or you might have been told or sent an actual message about it, as in like a phone call or social media message or something like that. So essentially the energy we have in the past is the Ace of Swords, and that is a message. It could be mail or whatever it is. So this is something about a message that you've recently received, okay? What your spirit guides want you to know is to wait and to be patient. And that's really seems to be the only option that you have right now. So this is the Hanged Man where you're stuck. But as you can see, it's interesting in this deck, the Thoth deck, by the way, I forget if I said that. The Hanged Man, it's almost like they've kind of adjusted to this really uncomfortable situation or predicament, something that's been on hold on the back burner for a long time, because they're in a yoga position. Also, there's a little bit of a halo around their head because even though this situation is really uncomfortable, it's helping you to gain enlightenment, okay? So there is something that's going to fall apart, because what you need to know about is the message, the big message they have for you is that there's the Tower. So you don't actually need to do anything. You may have been told a piece of information about something, then something is going to physically happen, okay? That's going to make a particular situation, it could be like where you work, where you live, it could be a belief system. It's going to completely fall apart. But always just to know that you will be okay. Like, you will always be taken care of. Like, your spirit guides want you to know that no matter what happens during your whole life, no matter how scary things get, sometimes, even when you feel helpless, okay, they're gonna take care of you. You will always have enough food and clean water and shelter. You will always have at least enough to be relatively comfortable. You are being taken care of, for sure. So, and also, when a certain thing falls apart, it could be a business going out of business, it could be just some sort of destructive force, right? I think you've got 3 aces. Like, you are, you're a very like innovative person. You come up with really good ideas and you can rise from the ashes like the phoenix. And I feel like it's almost like even if there's like a worst case scenario in your life, you will be able to not only make the most of it, you'll be able to come up with brilliant new ideas, which is really cool. I know that you probably don't think that right now because you're also kind of being clarified by the Knight of Wands. There's this situation that you are stuck in just for the time being. The situation will fall apart. Something's going to happen about that. You're just so antsy and just want to kind of get going, and I feel like you've got so much energy, but just trust and wait that it's going to turn out the way that it's going to, and you will always be taken care of. I feel like there's some information that's missing that you don't know. You may have been lied to and deceived, and I think kind of that's part of it. And things will get rebuilt in a logical manner. Whatever it is that falls apart, things will be sorted. Yeah, and I feel like you'll always be safe, even if like you're ever in a situation where, like, let's say you were to go to a war-torn country, you would just so happen to always be in places where you'd be okay. Like, you'd be okay. So that's really cool. So let's do one big advice card from your spirit guides directly to you. Try not to hold, this is the Three of Swords, try not to hold on to past pain and suffering, because I think that's just going to hold you back. So for example, if you ever got your heart broken by someone, whether it was a family member or a past lover or whatever, just know that you are to a certain degree holding a little bit onto that pain, and you might bring it into future relationships. And just because like people may have betrayed you before, it could have been like a friend betraying you, stabbing you in the back, for example, and it really hurt. But the more you hold on to that hurt, it's like you are reliving it. You have to find, I know easier said than done, but you have to find some way to let it go, so it doesn't negatively affect future relationships. And I think it's because you've got like a really sensitive heart. It probably takes you a while to heal from things, but you really do need to like kind of put your heart first in a way to like whatever it is to let go of that pain and suffering, and just know that the next person isn't going to be that way. Like necessarily. So yeah, to do your best to try and let go of hurt. Okay, comment below if that resonated with you. I'm going to move on to pile 2, group 2. Hello group 2, so let's see what the cards have in store for you. I feel like right now there's so many different people like involved in your life, because we've got so many court cards. There's just so many people. Look, so this has to do with someone who okay, obviously it's to do with you, or it could be someone close to you. We've got in the energy in the past, we've got the Prince of Swords. That's someone who is super curious, super open-minded, but I feel like may have been struggling a little bit, maybe with some of the thoughts that you've been having, for example, or communication with certain people. You are coming up as the Prince of Cups. Okay, I think some of you might have a crush on someone else. It's obviously, if you are a guy, you might have a crush on a girl. And if that's the case, it's not going to work out. That's not going to apply to everyone, just a little bit, okay? You do have a very tender heart. I think that potentially you might surround people who are not like very compatible with you, to be honest, or where things don't move forward. That could be friendship, relationships, business partnerships, I feel like, oh my gosh, okay, so for some of you, I feel like you have, if you are still living at home with your parents, I feel like you've got a sibling that almost kind of gets in between you and your mom's relationship, or older sister or aunt or something like that. It's like they're almost like a bulldozer, and they don't mean to do it intentionally. It's literally just part of their personality. I think, yeah, and I think it's going to make things really difficult, because the outcome we've got is worry. By the way, worry is just worry. It doesn't mean there's anything necessarily wrong. And this is it's a minor arcana, and it's a 5, which means it's very temporary, okay? So if you are getting really mentally stressed about someone who is like, you have huge personality clashes, and I think both of you bring out the immature side in each of you, I feel like, it's going to change. It's going to get worse before it gets better though, but it's not like as bad as it could get nearly. I think you're just going to become, this whole situation is going to make you like way more determined to move forward, and just do what you want. So like, even though if there are people in your lives that are just maybe dismissive of you, or you just have personality clashes, it's actually going to, in a way, toughen up your ego, and you're just going to be like, you know what, I'm just going to do what's right for me. So, because a lot of people, when they, sometimes when people are raised in families where everyone's really nice and listens to your feelings, like, okay, honestly, that is the way to go, but I'm just saying that you don't learn how to just do your own thing. You're always trying to like get permission or make sure what you're doing is okay with the people around you. But this situation that's uncomfortable with the personality clashes is going to make you just like be able to be super independent and just accomplish whatever you want. So that's really cool. Let's do. Yeah, I think that you're a very self-sufficient person. You'll always make sure you have enough. That's great. And I think something is going to, you might get a gift from your mom or a female that's like really important in your life. It could be a boss or an older person. It could, yeah. I feel like you're going to get a gift from them and you won't expect it at all. But yeah, I definitely feel like there's someone that really annoys you and stresses you out, and there's going to be a little bit of drama around that. I just want to quickly ask some advice to deal with this. But again, just the big emphasis is it's really going to help hone you to know yourself and your own personality, because you're just going to start thinking the way that you think, doing the things that you want to do, rather than trying to act, behave, think, and speak in a way that pleases other people around you. So it's almost like a good thing in a way. Let's do one more. Let's do one big advice card. You don't always have to wear your heart on your sleeve. I think that maybe sometimes to the wrong people, you'll express how you feel. But they're not necessarily the right person to express that to. So be very specific who you express your feelings to. You can be a little bit more mysterious and keep things to yourself. Like, it's always good to be open and honest, but come on, not with anyone. Not the teller or the bank. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say, I hope. Okay, so yeah, just, I would be a little bit more private and a little bit more reserved with certain people, especially people that you don't feel like you get that support from. All right, I hope, comment below if this reading resonated with you. We are now going to move on to group 3. Hi, group 3. Let's see what your big spirit guide message is. Something is coming to an end for good. And it has not been easy. Everything is going to get so much better. Oh my gosh. This is like the first part, like the past and the present, is almost like kind of negative, and then the outcome is like one of the best outcomes ever. So if you have been feeling like stressed, if there's something you've almost been like obsessively focused on that's caused you a lot of pain, that's caused you a lot of suffering, disappointment in the past. Okay, so in the past, like, it's coming to an end, and when that transformation happens, your life is going to be so awesome, like so great. Endings are painful, but oh my gosh, it will be so worth it. I promise you so much. Okay, so the energy we have in the past is the 7 of Cups, debauched. So I feel like it's just a very negative, sick, polluted energy, and also just very toxic. So this could be like someone that you loved or something that you loved just turned completely sour in such a bad way that there's no way, it's like rotten now. There's no way of, improving it. Also, this can be like someone completely lied to you and gaslit you. They just told you what you wanted to hear just to make life easy for them, and it really like messed up your head in a way and your emotions, because you're like, the things that that they're telling you, that they were telling you in the past, just didn't really match with what you were feeling. Okay. And now I think you're like super focused on that. You realize you've got the Knight of Swords. It's like you are like hyper attuned to realizing that you got screwed over in a way. And I think you're so focused on the truth and justice. And I think you might also be like quite almost in attack mode and just very quick to give people a tongue lashing. And you're very hyper focused on something. Like, this caused you a lot of pain because this person or situation was cruel. It was not good at all. You didn't deserve it. I think you're almost a little bit angry about it. But it is coming to an end, and this is a major arcana. So this cycle is ending. The major arcana means it's 100% happening. Like, there's no turning back. Whenever I get the death card in any reading, it's like whatever it was asking about is ending, and it's done, and it's over. Like, and you can try and talk you out of it, it's not happening. Guess what? This is the best card in the deck, is your outcome. The Sun, this is the good life, joy, happiness, all of the beautiful celebration, all of the wonderful things in life. Honestly, I really feel like, yeah, this is, if you have been feeling really horrible in the recent past, or even a little bit still right now, like things around the corner, like as soon as this process is over that you're going through, honestly, are going to be so good. And with death comes new birth as well. So we got the Ace of Cups. So for some of you who have been trying for a child, for example, you will have a successful conception. Even if I feel like it was like something had to maybe be cleansed from your body or your blood, for example, and now you can have a successful birth. And also, if that doesn't resonate with you, then this is really like tapping, and it could be both as well, tapping into self-love, to truly be able to love yourself, to not need other people's fake words and fake motives and all of that. Like, you just need to love yourself, and that's it. And then anyone else is a bonus. Yeah, and you are, I think this is also going to make you hyper-focus as well on security, wealth, stability, that also like having secure relationships too. You know, people who are solid and not wishy-washy and hurt you, honestly. Okay, let's get a few more clarification cards. Yeah, you're done with pain, you're done with suffering, you're done with stress, okay? So you're extra being clarified by the 10 of Swords, ruin, but this is a 10. 10s are the end of a cycle. It's like a surrender card in a way. It's like, okay, I admit it, like, it's over, it's fine. And then you release this energy. Like, it looks worse than what it is, but it's like the last part of, for example, of a healing crisis. So like when you are healing, it's like, right, you think you're getting better, and then you get like really like fever and coughing, and you're, you know, but then you get better after. So this is like, it gets worse before it gets better, and then it gets so much better. I think that you're ready to start like moving forward, like with new ideas that you have of any creative projects, or just something new that makes you, like, if you've had particularly inspired ideas, yeah, I would definitely move forward with that, because it's something you've been thinking of or planning for a while. You should definitely do it. Let's double check this outcome. Oh my gosh. And you might also be reuniting with some siblings or people that you knew from childhood, and just like that connection is going to be like such nostalgia and so good. Let's do an advice card for you. Advice. Okay, so this is the big advice card. Listen to me now. You can be your own worst enemy. You can be your own worst enemy by blinding yourself to you set limitations, mental limitations in your mind. So you might think, oh, things have to go, this thing that I've planned, it has to go this way or this way. And then it doesn't go that way. And then you blind yourself to so many different opportunities. So just know that if you feel like you're in a situation that you can never get out of, that's because of your attitude. It's not actually true. I see a very bright, amazing future for you. And it's happening 100% because we've got the major arcana, which means it's already set in stone. It's happening, okay? But just know that sometimes you mentally block things, so you might not see it as soon as you would otherwise. So you might want to try and, for example, meditate a little bit more, or just have positive affirmations or gratitude journal. Just whatever it is to kind of make you realize that life is so much better than you realize. And even when it's not that great, trust me, this is the best. I wish I picked 3. No offense, 1 and 2. All right. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. Let's do a collective reading now. Hello. So we're just going to do a quick collective read for every single one of you. Big spirit guide message for you watching right now. Ooh, wow. Okay, so I definitely see like, okay, so I think most of us felt a lot more security in the past, like we knew what to expect in the week, and we kind of knew like things were a little bit more settled and solid, especially in our family groups as well. Right now, I feel like a lot of us are just feeling a little bit tense, like we're in the eye of the storm. We are, by the way. And, you know, but just kind of uncertain, but almost like, it's not like things are over, but like things have paused. What you need to know is that there is going to be some like stress and drama coming your way, but you just need to hold your ground, and do whatever you need to do to stay mentally clear, because the atmosphere is really negative. We've got the devil. Okay, so this is negative toxic energy. By the way, some of you, if you have any like substance abuse issues or any type of addiction at all that you know brings you to a bad place, and you know in your heart of hearts that that's not good for you, you're gonna have to start talking about it. I would definitely, because it hurts you too much, I would definitely get like a therapist or someone to, or even just like a friend that you know is solid with their logic. They see things clearly, they can cut through the BS, just to really look at things from a higher perspective, whatever it is that you need to do. The outcome we've got is the 9 of Swords. Look, there's going to be some stress. We're going to do a few advice cards, okay? But remember, those are swords, so they're thoughts. They're not actual real things, like, to be honest. And also, one thing that we can all do right now is the 9 of Cups. That is the wish card, okay? And that's happiness. So we can get things better. Our spirit guides want us to know that all we have to do is ask. You know, the thing is with spirit guides, they're not allowed to interfere, but we can always ask for help, literally with anything. Please help me find a place. Please help me find a partner. Please help me get out of this mess. Please help out my nan, you know, literally anything, because they're not allowed to interfere. But when we ask for help, they're literally immediately, because there's no time. It's weird. I can't, anyways. But, okay, so look, some stressful stuff's gonna happen. We need to be able to ask for help. And I think I don't think that's really gonna surprise a lot of you, because it's like, if you really think about it, do you really feel like everything's totally all right, you know? Yeah, I think that every single one of us watching right now is a fighter and is gonna be able to stand up for what they believe in. Like, we all have the resources necessary. We coming up with new ideas as well. Interesting. So there might be, the source of the stress might be some sort of mother figure, but that's not necessarily your mother. It could be a boss. It could be someone in government. It could be like literally some sort of female that is causing this stress, okay? Sometimes it can be a male who's super feminine, but most of the time it's a female. It usually is more like a mom kind of card. Okay, let's do 3 advice cards for dealing with this right now. All right, what did I say? Okay, so the first advice card, we have got the 9 of Wands, Strength. We have all of the resources necessary, and we are backed by spirit as well, and all of our guides are always here to help, so you're never alone. None of us are ever alone. We literally have these different beings that, you know, everything from, you know, angels to our guides that are always wanting to help us, our ancestors. We just need to ask and know that they're always present. So we have the resources to get through anything. So this is just a little bit of a heads up to be like, just be a little bit prepared, you know. The second advice card, we have got the 10 of Swords, Ruin. So whatever happens, like with stress, I feel like we'll move through this faster when we actually release resistance to, okay, this is what's happening. Stop being in denial of it and resisting what is. And we need to focus on being like, okay, I accept this is a situation. I don't like it, but this is the way that it is. And then we can exhale and just kind of move on to the next step. And this is cool. So our third advice card is the Knight of Swords. When you really want to learn about something, you can hyper focus on it. So hyper focus on what it is. Seek the truth, you know, don't just, I think that like this whole situation is going to try and get us on the back foot. So we're just trying to kind of stay centered, but we need to actually move forward and investigate and figure things out and just be focused on finding out the truth. Let's do one more advice card. And you know what? Good things are coming. We got the 10 of Cups. So like, it's going to be some tricky times coming up. We have the resources. We're being taken care of. This is just part of a healing process, I feel like, on the planet and for a lot of people right now. It's almost like when you get an infection, like let's say you get a cut and an infection. What's happening right now collectively is we're literally digging out the infection so that the wound can heal properly. And it hurts and it sucks and it's ugly and it's horrifying. but it's necessary for healing right now. And so we're going through that collectively on the planet, but also within our greater communities, smaller communities, families and individuals, every single one of us, and we're all going to get through it. But just know most of the stress comes from your head. Let's do one more advice card. I love this one. Always listen to me. If you're, listen. Always listen to your intuition, that feeling, that knowing, I kind of know that, but I don't know how I know that. Trust your intuition, that inner voice that quietly whispers. Ignore all of that BS out there, whatever. You have all of the answers within you. Listen to that. You are being sent messages all the time, probably a lot in your dreams as well. Listen. You know everything. You are being taken care of. All you have to do is listen. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. And if there are any other types of readings you'd like to hear, please do comment below. And if you thought this reading was cool, you can share it with someone. I'd super appreciate that a lot. And I hope you have a great week and life. Bye.